Well, that was much better than getting parked the whole way in a county fair in Ohio. Ty went on, raced great, finished third, just get beat for second. In 54, she probably tried a 55 in a piece. She's just a good filly in with good fillies. It worked out well for the front end, faltered perfectly for the good end of our Hall filly. I mean, quite frankly, I was hoping she'd run, to be honest. She has a tendency to do that. She's hot. You can tell that Joe's very careful with her, and he drove her good, and she won the race. I thought I might sneak up the inside and beat Dexter for second. But man, she raced great. Tim had her great. I could tell when she warmed up, she was on her game, and it was a great feeling. And, it's such a tough sport, to have such a brain freeze yesterday, driving in a fair, and then have to be on your best, to get parked at a fair, and then have to race against Dexter Dunn and Yannick Gingras and Scott Zera and Tim Tetrick the next day. It's, you really do. I say it all the time, but you really do have to be able to turn the page and focus on what's ahead of you. And, I was talking to Scotty before, and listen, I'm no stranger. You don't have to convince me to leave with a horse, right? If you're gonna ask me, hey, what are you gonna do with this one? Likely leave, I guess. Just how I'm wired, how I am, how I've always been. I'm aggressive on the track, and that's the way I've always been. So, but having said that, I did speak with Scott before the race, and he didn't know the trotting filly he was driving, liked her lines looked great, but didn't know about her. And I said, yeah, she seems like a bit of a grinder, but she's definitely as good as anybody in here. I said, honestly, Scott, there's 5-6 horses in here I think have a good shot. I didn't see Burke's horse blasting out of there the way she did. She made a break warming up. I was beside her when she made the break warming up, and I didn't know how good she'd be, but again, good enough. So Scotty had said, well, you're probably going to leave. And I said, no, honestly, I'm going to watch Dave Pallone. I don't think Dave Pallone's filly's that good. And if he's not on the gate and not leaving, I'd like to slide over in front of him if I could. The horse on the rail with Jeff Gregory, clearly she was sick today. Talk about timing. Wow. She left and raced great last week. I thought she's a really good filly. Obviously, Dexter's filly's awesome. The two horses of Dreamin' on High that won the race is good. So it's not like you can just leave out of the 5-hole. I mean, you're racing for $250,000. There's no gimmies. There's no, hey, here you go. None of that. So I had it in my head that my first thought was keep an eye on Dave Pallone, see if you can maybe snap over in front of him, get spotted close, ride the rail, see if we can get a good check. That's really what my plan was today. And I looked left leaving the gate. No one's on the gate. I know I can beat them out of there. In the blink of an eye, that's a beautiful thing about this filly. She's good off the gate, but you can turn her on in a heartbeat. If you watch, I'm coming up to the gate. I'm going to keep her about a half a length off. Dave, of the four of them, Dave's the only one close to the gate. So I'm like, Jesus, I'm going to have to, maybe now plan B for me was take her off the gate, drop Scott Zeron in front of me and follow him. That's cover. That's live cover and good cover. So that was my plan B. All that goes out the window when I look left and no one's on the gate. I just chirped her once and crossed right over. Now there's a new player leaving the gate. I like the 8, but I didn't see that coming. I should have. I didn't see Yannick Gingras leaving with his horse. So, I mean, that's like saying not even. I mean, Yannick's a great driver. I was going to say it's like saying I wasn't going to leave my horse, but Yannick's a world-class driver. So, he comes right out of there. I cut him loose to the front, and I'm like, she's actually a pretty nice filly, really wasn't on my radar, but a really nice filly. I know Scotty's coming. I look over my shoulder. There's no room for him. He's got to keep pushing. This is actually setting up really well for me. All I need is for Joe Bongiorno to make a break. That's it. So I wait. I get away in the 3-hole. She feels real good. I'm pretty confident we're going to get money at the quarter pole. Out comes the flow. Here's Joe. Front end's gotta be a little compromised, right? Scotty was parked all the way to the quarter. Front end's gotta be a little compromised. This filly, she's got freak speed. She can go. I can tell you how the race is going to finish at the half, more than likely. Dexter and Joe Bongiorno are going to be 1-2. You got Scotty. I don't know how much steam Yannick's got left, how good that filly is. Gee, she looks good. There's another one third over. Man, I'm thinking fifth, fourth, maybe, around the last turn. Yannick's half in and half out. Now he's trying to carry Dexter a little bit, and he's trying to see if his filly will come to life, right? That's what he's looking for. I almost missed my exit. That's what he's looking for. So as he starts out of the hole, I just shove my feet up in there. That's a no-no. I mean, especially in a stake race, he could have pinched me down. There's nothing I could do. He's not completely out of the hole, but at the same time, I want him out of the hole. So as I stuff my front feet up there, I see him look at me. I can see the look on his face, like, hey man, I'm not quite out of this hole yet. But he's also got Dexter 3 deep, so I need him out. So I just continue forward a little bit. He moves over, and we get a clear shot at the inside. I was as surprised as anybody when they said a pylon. I'm like, pylon, where? But as I stuffed my front feet up in there, I did hit that pylon. So I hear the inquiry, I get changed, I go out. So I'm thinking to myself now, am I losing my mind? I don't remember hitting a pylon. How many did I go through? So I go out, look at the video, and Yannick's sitting there, and he goes, cheater. I said, what? He goes, pylons. I said, I didn't think I hit any. He goes, yeah, when you stuffed your front feet up in there when I wasn't quite out of the hole yet. He said, you hit that pylon. They're going to show it to you here in a minute. So I said, wow. He goes, I hadn't quite made up my mind. I said, I know, but being the helpful soul that I am, I just wanted to help you. I wanted to help you make up your mind. You need to be out there. So we all kind of laughed about it. He was going to get what he got. I mean, it would have cost us maybe third, but he was going to be fifth regardless, I believe. So it ended up being a great race for Taiwan, a great end of the season. There's a filly that, really trained down mediocre, adequate. Certainly didn't look like a Pennsylvania Sires filly. And we had talked about it going into her second race. If Hunter Myers doesn't win with her that day, or at least she doesn't look really good, and the filly she beat was the one that just won the final, by the way, but if she doesn't look really good that day, she's in the Stallion Series. So, I mean, a great year ahead, hard work by Tim, and, Shelby and the crew in Ohio, Jason's barn, played a big role in getting her ready. And then Hunter, that was a pivotal point. If he doesn't drive that filly good, if she doesn't race good, and he doesn't win with her, she may have been in the Stallion Series the rest of the year. So that's how slippery that slope is in the Sire Stakes when you're dealing with 4 or 5 divisions, 4, I believe, legs. You really can't waste points, and it worked out so good for us this year with this filly. Again, never missed a check. She raced great. I'm on my way right now out to where she grew up, Mcclellandtown, Pennsylvania. It's about 45 minutes somewhere away from the Meadows. Jacob and Wayne Schaefer and Son Farms. I'm going out to visit. Obviously, he keeps telling me he's got the bar hopping full brother. I said, Wayne, we can't afford that colt. It's not going to happen. He said, oh, you might be able to, maybe, but it's unlikely. So we'll see how the sale goes with this one. But he does have some other horses out here I am going to look at. Now, I'll send you some videos of those tonight. But most importantly also, I had a great conversation with Ron Burke today. I know he's running around. I hate bugging the guy. I mean, you think I'm busy. This guy's racing the best horses in the world, all over the world. So I see him looking at the TV, strutting around. I said, hey, Ron, Mare a little flat yesterday. And he goes, I was glad to hear him say it too. And I don't want to push the envelope. I don't want to overstep my boundaries. And he said, they got to stop racing this mare on the front. Thank God. I said, well, I don't want to be a hypocrite because I raced her on the front plenty, and I put lots of horses that shouldn't be on the front. So I don't really want to start bashing people for front-ending horses. I said, but yeah, man, she just, and we almost said it at the exact same time. It's really cool talking to him because he's a nice guy to talk to too. And I said, we both were saying the exact same thing at the same time. She's just so handy that she feels so good. It's such an easy maneuver to put her back on the front, and the third quarter, she'll blow her own candle out, and that's what she does. She'll trot that third quarter in 27 and a piece with a bow on her neck like she's chopping sticks, and I believe someday she'll learn, and he said the same thing, someday she'll learn to go and continue on as she puts more muscle on. When you're at the top end of the food chain, which I hope she'd get to, maybe, when you're up there, it's incremental increases, right? You don't see 18-year-olds playing in the MLB, right, or getting drafted to the NFL. Their body just needs to mature. The talent is there. You can see it, but sometimes it takes a little longer. And that's what I see in globetrotting, and I believe it's what Ron Burke sees in her also. He said, you know what, now that we got her squared away, I'm going to race her back at the Meadowlands. She fits low. I just want them to move her one time in the mile. On the end of it would be good. And I was so happy to hear him say that. Again, I feel like a jerk saying it, but that's exactly what I was hoping he'd say. I didn't really care what track he picked. Just one move. Sit, follow, sprint. Sit, follow, sprint. James. I'd like to fly James into driver for a month. So I was very, very happy. Great conversation with Ronnie. He really, really likes globetrotting, and I was happy that he took the time out of the middle of a stake day to talk to me about globetrotting. So that was great. The filly was great. On my way out to look at more yearlings from you guys. I know somebody sent me a message, Anthony. I thought you said you were sending the win-back yearling videos out. Just give me till the end of the weekend, all right? I just want to get through the weekend. We're still in Ohio mode right now. I have the videos. I'll send them out to you. It's not a problem. There's like 12, 13 of them, something like that. I'll get them out to you. Don't worry about that. But I almost forgot. There are 2 sales this weekend in Illinois, and we have some Illinois clients out there. What I'm looking to get to put together, I'm suspecting somewhere between 19 and 24,000. 1 or 2 horses. 1 horse would theoretically be half that or a little more. If we spent, I got 3 on my list I love. Just a video. It's hard to read the pedigrees, and this is important. And this is what I was talking to a client about this afternoon. I said, you can't overpay for those horses. No disrespect to Illinois, but those pedigrees are not pedigrees you would buy to race in open company, right? Those are Illinois pedigrees. You're going to race them in Illinois, right? You're not going to buy, the Jarnbro might be Muscle Hill out in Illinois. And there might be some nice sires out there, but there's no brand names out there. The mares are kind of watered down. I saw one mare with a 5th dam on there in the Illinois sale, and that's just rebuilding. That's no disrespect. That's just rebuilding. But at the same time, I can't buy open market. I can't pay open market money for a jurisdictional horse, right? It's like Jazzy Judy. That was a lot of money to pay for Jazzy Judy as a baby. She just looked really good. So if we buy one for 15, 16, 17, we'll probably only buy the one. But if I can sneak 2 of them out of Illinois, I would. I got a list of maybe 8 on Saturday and 6 or 7 on Monday that look okay to me, that look fine. I'm going to have some people look at them for us to take a look at the actual horse and make sure that the movie's not better than the book, so to speak. But I want to get them looked at. So if you're out there and you want to be a part of Illinois, lots of money's going to be dumped in Illinois in the coming years. I'd like to maybe stuff our foot back in there if we could in the door. If you're an Illinois client, if you're a client of ours that might be interested in Illinois, I'm going to budget from between 19 and 23,000 for combined for Saturday and Monday. And be well aware, we may end up with nothing. The sales the last 2 years there have been crazy high. I'm not going to overstretch. I'm not going to overpay. But I do see us spending upwards of 19 to 23 for one horse would be around 16, 17. I'd call it a day, call it a weekend, call it a year. I'm looking to get 2. 19 to 23 would be nice for both. So, in that area. So if you want to play a part of that, I know this is last minute, obviously, and it's not near the scope of what we're trying to do in Ohio, but I would like to have that money put together for, hey, if you don't mind, we just put it together by tomorrow morning. That'd be awesome. I would like to have at least some of it structured so you have enough people. Listen, what I'm asking is drop me a line. If you're interested in Illinois, Saturday, Monday, I already have a list of horses I'm interested in. I don't think we're probably going to deviate from that. There's only one pacer in both sales I'm looking at. I'm not really that interested in buying a pacer, but there was one that interested me. So mostly trotters. I wouldn't mind getting a colt and a filly, but that will depend on if anybody. We just get crickets. If I get no emails, probably just going to sit on my hands at home and watch a movie. So drop me a line and let me know. So as I've said multiple times, the Ohio partnership is put together. I truly, and I'll say it again, I appreciate the input from you guys about how we could do Ontario, what structure could be changed to help out with Ontario, Ohio. Some people said jurisdictionally. I guess not Ohio, it's done. Some people said, hey, what about jurisdictional partnerships? That's a great idea, actually, especially for New York. It's a great idea. And then what I had come up with was maybe some smaller partnerships, and then the obvious question was, well, Anthony, who would be in charge of putting the horse? I would be. I know Bob had messaged me and said, well, who would be in charge of populating those partnerships? I will. Now, whether maybe we'll go, hey, Ontario Pacers, or a mix, or fillies or colts. But I think it's only fair to get everybody in, because $2,500 was a lot for Ohio. I get that. So how do we get a smaller amount? Well, we put together some groups. Maybe you put a $30,000 partnership together. That's $300 a share. That should let everybody in. Now, that will likely only be 1, 2, or maybe 3 at the most horses. But still, you see where I'm going with that. You can sell a share, buy a share. You can move it around however you want. But that's what I'm looking for. But I truly appreciate the input. It has been super helpful, and keep it coming. If you have any tidbits, any ideas to drop into the bucket, so to speak, now is your time, because over the next week or so, we are going to start looking at Lexington also. I don't want to get past Ohio, but I want to be ready for Lexington. I said to you guys, a number of our sophomores, the sales for those sophomores will help push the sales for their Harrisburg yearlings. That's my plan anyway. So really what we're left doing is trying to put together revenue streams for our Ontario breds that we will be purchasing, and the Lexington sale. So that's it. A lot of talking for one race, but man, super pumped. I mean, it feels good to me to bounce back and drive the filly well. I think I drove her well, especially after such as I said, a mistake that was made yesterday. So what else do we got? We got lots of racing still tonight, I think, in Ontario. We got some tomorrow, but obviously the big news after today was certainly Slim Jimmy and Sweet on Pete. Little update for you there. Both those horses come out of their training sets well. We made a few little shoeing changes again on Slim Jimmy. He looked very good the last 2 days. I jogged him myself today. I can tell he's not agitated on the track. He's quiet. If the vet can get that liver count down a little bit for Sunday, I think we're in good shape. So that is next on the agenda, Sunday at Northfield Park. But for right now, I'm on my way to Mcclellandtown, Pennsylvania, to view Schaefer & Sons horses. Talk to you soon. Take care.